Thank you for watching News Echoes. I'm so glad you are watching. My name is Shegun Johnson, and today we want to look at what is happening in the British politics, the level of integrity of the Prime Minister, and of course of the ministers forming the cabinet of Boris Johnson. We also want to look at the state of affairs in NATO. Have they accepted Sweden and Finland? Finally, we need to address the issue of shooting in the United States of America, especially with the Highland Park shooting. I think this is one too many. Then we jump into Nigeria, the largest country in Africa in terms of population, and see what is going on in terms of security in that country. I have in the studio my colleagues, and let's start from the one in Moscow, my friend Dr. Godwin Ibe. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Dr. Osita Anyemeka is sitting on the Federal Reserve of Abuja. Dr. Osita, you're welcome to the program.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
And in London is our brother, Ambassador Nat Iyakwo. Ambassador Nat, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody.
And last but not the least is Mark in Milan, far away in Italy. You are welcome to the program, Mark Godwin.
Good morning, Dr. Shagun. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, fellow fans.
I was looking at our composition. I can see the East and the West and Africa and the developing countries. That's exactly what we represent at the moment. It's interesting how the geography of the world can be represented on this program. So everyone is appreciated. Boris Johnson has been having terrible time in the last 48 hours. Key ministers have resigned. Sajid Jambi, the health secretary or former health secretary, he resigned. Rishi Sunak, the chancellor of the exchequer, he resigned, followed by other 8 junior ministers. Ambassador Nat in London, what is happening to your ministers? The way we are going, we may not have Boris Johnson in the next 48 hours.
Well, I hope it wouldn't last up to another. Did you say 48 hours? Or
yes, I said 48.
The country cannot afford to wait for more than the next 24 hours or thereabout. Because as it is now, historically, I've taken time to go through the experiences of some ex-prime minister that had to leave under this type of circumstances we're experiencing today. And what is really left now is for the Tory party to tell Boris Johnson, please go home. Please.
But they don't have such power. The law of the Conservative Party says you can raise vote of no confidence, and if the man should win, like Boris did, then you have 12 months. So you can't.
Yes, but I was just telling you of the experience of Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady. Boris is not even near her in performance in office. And if people like Michael Hazeltine, the two Michaels, the granddaddies of the Conservative Party in UK, they were also in the cabinet. Michael Hazeltine was a deputy prime minister, and he challenged Margaret Thatcher when they saw that Margaret Thatcher doesn't want to go, even after losing, even if it's 3 votes difference. So the Hazeltines, Michael Rifkin, another Michael Rifkin, who was a minister of foreign affairs. They told Thatcher, sorry, you have to go.
Ambassador Nat, I know you live in London. Yes. This man doesn't want to go. The law is on his side. He's the only one who can resign. Not even his party can remove him according to the law of the party. And people are saying that his party should rewrite the law. Will that not be shifting the goalposts?
No, you see, there are some things that can happen that are not written anywhere in the law books. Because if your party chairman is gone, the deputy is gone, the senior Tory members are saying, Johnson, you have done enough damage. You've brought disgrace to yourself and the office of the prime minister. So there is no way I can't see. There's no way he can any attempt to redeem his image, the Tory party's image, and then your Chancellor of Exchequer has left.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Dr. Sita, you are the proprietor of Diplomacy University in Africa. What are your views? They won't go and can't go, and nobody can force him to go. That's the situation. What do you say, sir?
I think it's primarily unsettling because in 2022, we expect this civility to dawn on anybody in leadership position. I mean, if we're talking about Cape Verde, if we're talking about Equatorial Guinea, if we're talking about Cameroon, no. I mean, these are simple examples that we give in Africa every day. And then when we give it, I've said it before, we say if it is in the UK, if it is in America, this will not happen. It's happening now. It's happening now, and the most unsettling part of it is that we are in a quagmire where the man in office, showing us an example of what could happen tomorrow again, is saying that he won't go. I mean, his very important ministers have all resigned. You know what that means? This is the real vote of no confidence. That's the definition. So whether he won, say that again.
I was just trying to say that the Western leaders are no longer examples for the Southern leaders.
No.
Yeah, that's what.
Why?
So, I mean,
why? Because they have also done so wrong. Because in their own case, they are lying to their people and ill-treating other countries. So they are very wrong. Yeah, they are very wrong. So my thinking, this is a personal view. My thinking, not that of my team in Nigeria or whatever, is that the kind of shame that is going to come to Boris will be so bad that it's going to affect every Briton, as a matter of fact, everybody from the West. Because after now, there will be no impetus to say anything to any other country.
That's right. Labour Party is laughing to elections now. They've been asking for elections. Yes. They are laughing right now. Dr. Ibe,
I know what's going to happen. You know, those Indians are going to fight a war and are taking over. We're just waiting and watching them. Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Dr. Ibe, the West is no longer examples to the South. Donald Trump lost an election. And the law of America says, if you don't believe it, go to the poll, go to the court and ask. And he did, and the court said, you have lost. And he still planned a coup, January 6th, the year. And now, the Boris Johnson, it appears that not trying to go, So what do we do? What do we do? Will this happen in the East?
Like I've said, there's no innocence anywhere in geopolitics. What leaders should be defending their national interest. You might call it good or evil, but as long as they're defending their national interest, they are doing the right thing. What is surprising is that Boris Johnson recently criticized or poked fun at Putin, and claimed he was going to go bare-chested, in the G7 summit. One would have expected, least expected this surprise scandal. We in Russia, we know that you cannot find our president on a private social media account. You can't find him partying, drinking around in stupor when the whole country is on coronavirus lockdown. You can't hear an allegation. You can't even hear an allegation, not even that maybe you don't believe. You can't even hear such an allegation. It's in fact, I wouldn't like to talk about his private life. But one of the things we know is that people around say that if you question anything about the leader of Russia, you can't question his patriotic virtues and his visions for growth of the East. Now, I believe British citizens know what's best for them. They know how to elect their leaders. I do not want to interfere or to even be involved, but I expect more, especially when they are the ones preaching about moral virtues, about democracy, and about what is right, what is wrong, meritocracy, and all of that. But it's really surprising. I wish there'll be a better example set by the West.
Yes, we who have been monitoring Boris Johnson, he has used the Ukrainian war as a shield to put himself in on seat. He could have gone earlier than this, but he was going to Kiev almost every other week. He's trying to show that he's the one championing the war, so that they should see him as the prime minister of war here. And the 1922 committee has felt that, look, let us leave him to finish this war in Ukraine. And he has managed to get on until Chris Pincher has come to pinch him out of office. So will this be a gift to Putin? What do you say, Godwin?
No, Putin actually doesn't have a problem. You'll be surprised, but Putin doesn't have a problem with Boris Johnson, in my opinion. Putin understands that that leaders have to play the game, whether they mean it or they don't mean it. They have to play the game of protecting national interests, and it's a playbook used by all leaders historically. When domestic policy is terrible, then you focus on external foreign policy. It's not nothing new. Putin once said that every 4 years, a new leader comes and shakes hands with him, and they smile, but the policies remain the same.
Okay, thank you. We may come back to that if we have the time. Mark in Milan, how is Europe taking everything going on in little island Britain? I know that the French, the Germans, the Italians, they're watching us closely. What do you copy from us?
Yes, we're watching closely, and it's an epic one happening in the UK. The UK PM Prime Minister is right now fighting for survival after his top ministers all quit. But the minister has claimed that the Prime Minister has claimed that he plans to stay. He's standing. He says he's prepared to face. His words last night was he's prepared to face the grilling from the MPs even today. They'll be grilling him, and he says he's prepared to face that. So UK, Germany, France, Italy, and the West, we are watching very close. But take note that we've gone through this process about 3 times now, and Boris has, at all points, really scaled through. So we are seeing Boris again as one resilient UK Prime Minister because he has scaled through. We've gone through this for 3 times in a row. The Pincher case is a serious one. Pincher had sexual misconduct, and that's enough to finish him. He admitted anyway to Pincher's for the error of bringing Pincher's into the cabinet.
After so many lies.
After so many lies, yes. So our eyes are wide open. Our scopes are watching closely. Let's see what happens, like Dr. Ambassador Nat said, in the next 24 hours. Thank you, sir.
Well, like Ambassador Nat said, we are ready for breaking news, even right now. Well, I don't envisage that we'll have that breaking news early, but let's imagine there'll be a breaking news. I'll be glad to bring it immediately. Okay, we will just be waiting for that breaking news, and if it doesn't come, I don't think anybody can push him out. As far as the law is concerned, he either resigns or his party push him out. But the party has used his life, his 9 lives, so Boris can still stay a few more days if he can. Well, let's just quickly look at NATO. they met and they appear to have accepted Sweden and Finland by their last decision. Dr. Ibe, can you quickly tell us what's the latest with Sweden and Finland becoming NATO? I think they are saying positive things of acceptance, isn't it?
Yes, congratulate them. There's no from the point of the West, there's nothing new. From the point of the East, there's nothing new. Finland and Sweden has always cooperated with NATO. It's
Mm,
clear. Putin also has has said this. He sees no change, no strategic change in these formalities. Even the veto by Turkey, no one had high hopes of, or no one had any hope that it will last very long. We know that.
Sorry, Dr. Godwin. What do you think changed the mind of Turkey? The last time we spoke about this, Turkey was a very key person towards Putin's position, and then everything just turned pear-shaped.
Well, it wasn't Putin's position. Turkey was defending their national interests, specifically with the Kurdistan Working Party, and they
Mm,
wanted extradition of people they considered terrorists. Sweden and Finland do not share that view, but they were forced to agree to extradite
mm,
them to Turkey. But now they are having second thoughts, and there are some rumors that because it has to be ratified by the parliament. The signature that was signed is not enough. The parliament has to ratify it, and Turkey could stop it over at the parliament if they believe that Sweden and Finland aren't meeting up to their end of the bargain. So it's not a
okay.
done deal.
Oh, thank you very much. From the diplomatic angle, Dr. Osita, what will you say to this development? Sweden and Finland becoming NATO members, as far as we know.
Yeah, I was expecting it myself because the pathway to all of that, had been set. But what my issue is with that is whether, well, I think Dr. Tipe just said it, whether it will all go well for them and for the West. Why? Because
Mm,
what Russia does not want now is the multiplicity of membership of NATO that could affect where they are. I hear, I don't know, Dr. Tipe, could buttress that they are in deep financial mess. And the fact is that some people, particularly here in Abuja, where some of us are thinking that when that happens, that China is going to come, to their rescue. But the fact too is that that water has not been tested before. So yes, with the presence of Finland and Sweden, where we expect a more vibrant political play, in that region. And what that means also to everybody is that we should be prepared for more of Putin's responses. Whether we think we know that he was expecting it, Putin is a man that does not like to lose. It doesn't. In Nigeria, we say "man of the carry last." So
mm.
basically, we're looking at it from that perspective.
Thank you. Ambassador Nat, it appears Russia is winning this war inch by inch. They are claiming territory. We can see it, albeit slowly. What's your take on this? Why didn't they finish the job at once, or why are they killing Ukraine slowly? $750 billion to be used to prop Ukraine up again. A lot of money that Americans will want to dip into, Europeans would like to dip into. Maybe Russia is going to be the one losing out of reconstructing Ukraine. But why is Russia killing Ukraine slowly?
Well, when there's a war, we know that the first casualty is the truth.
Okay.
There's a lot of war propaganda going on, especially Ukraine. Ukraine doesn't seem to be accepting the reality on ground.
Mm,
The country as it is now has been destroyed as far as uh, I'm concerned. It's a personal opinion, but this is what is happening. The West is like they're deceiving Ukraine that they can defeat Russia, but I don't think that is the issue. I was surprised yesterday to learn from reliable sources that the economy of Russia is growing, which is not the scenario at war times. At war times, no economy shows any sign of growth, and so this is where we are. We're not telling each other the truth. The collateral damage on both sides, Ukraine and Russia, we're not being told the exact figures. And Russia, whether we like it or not, has is still a world power. It has a strategic location. It still has a lot in store when it comes to
But tell
the
me,
fighting.
why is the West enjoying this war? I mean, the West appears to be enjoying. Is it because of military technology, which will depend on wars, so that they can just be increasing their new software? Is that why they enjoy? Because it's like they don't even want it to end.
Well, that is one of them. But as we know, the war is really between USA and Russia, and you know why the two elephants are fighting, and
Mm.
you know that we cannot have two superpowers. One must give way to the other, and so this is a show of ability, capacity, capability, and so many other things being
So
put
the West has
together.
outsourced the war, just like they did in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Kuwait, and all of those places. They've outsourced it, but this is very close to Russia. It appears that, in my own opinion, given the culture of the people in Ukraine, they are very close to Russia. In fact, many of them are Russians. So I wonder if Russia has outsourced the war, the West definitely, and is unfortunate. But let's just give the final say to Dr. Ibe. How are you copying it there now? Is Russia happy the way they are destroying Ukraine?
You know, if a madman comes into your house,
Mm,
you would try as much as possible to take him out before you engage in physical battles.
mm.
Um, the the sad thing is that for Ukraine, it is their country that is being destroyed, and I would expect that Zelensky would say, "Okay, no matter what argument you're having, this is my country. It's not going to look the same. It doesn't matter who wins, who doesn't win. At the tail end of this, it's not going to look the same." And then when you speak about the joy of some politicians declaring that NATO is expanding, like I've said before, strategically they aren't. Not Finland and Sweden has always been loyal to NATO, but it increases the proliferation of NATO bases near Russia will definitely lead to military technical response. Putin doesn't bluff. He's never bluffed. If he says there's military technical response, there surely will be. It will reduce reaction times. It will increase miscalculation. We had it in Cuban Missile Crisis. We had it played out between the Soviet Union and the United States during the Cold War. It reduces reaction time. That's the most dangerous thing. You don't want to, by error of omission or commission, allow nuclear security, nuclear weapons to be placed on high alert. You don't need this. No one needs this. So it's sad to see this proxy conflict going on between Russia, NATO, EU. By the way, you asked why. Yeah, because there's money involved, military industrial complex, investors are gaining a lot from it. Number two is an opportunity to decommission old weapons that are
Yeah,
produced
yeah.
that are in their end of service life to let them. Number three, it's a type of migration from a type of weapon to another. For example, Ukrainians are used to Soviet era weapons by making them destroy these weapons. You can now supply them with Western weapons because they have no other weapons, and they will be forced to learn and to retrain. And it will take some time, but they'll be forced to use Western weapons from scratch, as
Okay.
Stoltenberg has already said.
Thank you for that illumination. Mark in Milan, I want to take you to the United States. Of all the days in the year, the 4th of July is their best. They do everything. I've been I've been in Hollywood one year, many years ago, on the 4th of July. I thought I was in a paradise. Everybody was celebrating the Day of Independence. Unfortunately, 4th of July this year, one young man in Highland Park just decided to shoot into a crowd, suburban of Chicago, Illinois, and killed a few, maimed some. And what's your view about this gunning situation in America? It's becoming one too many.
Becoming one too many, Dr. Shegun. It's a sad one. A suspect has been charged with murder of on the 4th of July shooting. And as of this morning, it has come to 7 people. 7 people killed and a dozen wounded. Sadly, a little girl of about 2 years, her parents were in that 7 number. So we are seeing this reoccurrence all over and all over again because Americans don't want to. Last time they said there is now a reenactment in the law on gun control, background check to gun people that want to own gun, but we don't know how that policy will take shape. We saw the young man. There's a video of the young man, Robert Crimo is his name, and he went on this killing spree. He was shooting from a building, and the police said he fired 70 shots. 70 bullets were fired from a high-powered rifle down to the crowd of people, and he disguised himself as a woman so he could escape among people that were running. But after an 8-hour manhunt on Monday, the police arrested the young man, and it was discovered that one of the rifles he used was when they found him, the rifle, one of the rifle with him was one of the rifles he used in the attack, and 3 other firearms were found in his home. And prior to this, also they did some check and they found out that he has been buying guns, and even the father at one point, like the police says, filed in to apply for owning firearms that were meant for battle, for war battle. And you begin to ask, why are people gathering these sorts of weapons? Why do we want to stockpile weapons to kill fellow human being? It's crazy. So we've seen what played out on July 4th. And this is something that always happened in America every July 4th. Last year it was the same thing. This year, the same thing now. And the number of killings increasing. Before the end of this year, we'll be having close to 1,000 more people dead.
Definitely.
Yes.
Let me just ask my colleagues in 30 seconds, because we have to go on a break right now. In 30 seconds, Ambassador Nat, why can't Americans control their gun sales? Why must they finish the lot in America?
Well, they have seen it as a gun culture. It's a culture now, and ironically, they think the carrying a gun shows sign of strength, which I think is sign of cowardice.
A culture that still can be stopped. They can stop it. I mean, they can't. Let me ask Dr. Sita in Abuja. Dr. Sita, why can't America?
Yes.
You have lived in America before. Why can't your people there control their gun ownership and things like that?
It's a cowboy culture. It's a cowboy culture. Ronald Reagan was a cowboy and he was president. That's America. The truth about it is that they're rather, like Ambassador Nat said, let us stay strong in their perspective by carrying guns, because they think that if you know that I have a gun, you won't attack me. That's why America.
Okay. Dr. B, do you agree with Dr. Sita? Cowboy culture, I am strong because I carry a gun, and then we have to kill the rest of the community.
Of course not. It's part of hard-headedness and stubbornness to accept reality. You see this with a lot of politicians as well. The interesting thing was that this criminal bought 5 firearms legally, all of them legally. He once attempted to commit suicide. The police are aware of it. He had a collection of knives. He once threatened to kill everybody, yet none of this stopped him from purchasing legally 5 firearms. It's crazy.
Well, thank you very much. We have to go on a short break. When we return, we want to look at the Shiroro massacre. Some guys just went to Shiroro in Niger State of Nigeria, rounded up some soldiers, 38 the last time they were counting, and killed all those soldiers and killed the civilians and abducted some Chinese. We'll be looking at that. We'll also be looking at the bombing of Kuje prison and releasing of over 100 Boko Haram and so many prisoners. What's going on in Nigeria? We want to know. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When I wrote the book, The Final Solution, the Lord gave me some things in the spirit realm to see going to happen here. And that is why you need to get a copy of this book, not because of the purchase, but because of the contents. We've not spent 2 weeks. Now we have seen the problem in Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus, Donetsk, Luhansk, and all the other surrounding nations, talk less of the Western countries and the Eastern countries. We want to pray that this stops where it is. Some people are even imagining a third world war. I pray that there'll be no third world war, but we need to know the solution to all of these problems, and they are well packaged in that book, The Final Solution. The amount of money is next to nothing. Go to Amazon and buy this book. Go to the Kindle, go to KDP and buy this book. It's very important. So it is in Amazon and Kindle. And of course you can purchase the paperback, but it's not about the money. It's about the contents to have solution to Ukraine, to Russia, to the West, to the East, and indeed all parts of the world. Do get a copy and let's start operating the solution of God to our time.
Hi there, I'm Mary Keurig, and I am a businesswoman in the United States, but I'm also the Global Content Vice President for the Sub-Saharan Open University in Nigeria. I could not be prouder to work with Dr. Osita Anamika and his team on helping to create not just entrepreneurs and skill-based talent that will get out into the workforce and make a living for themselves, but also young leaders. And to that end, with this integrity-rich university environment that's accredited now, and it's just an amazing opportunity for anyone there of any age to jump on board and learn, we want to let you know about a new offering that we have. We have a global governance and diplomacy course now provided by a whole team of people that crosses several countries to put together these resources and lots of great information for those of you who might be on the path toward public service and diplomatic service, NGO leadership, that sort of thing. We hope that you will walk through this open door and enjoy.
Thanks for staying with us. It's still News Echoes. We give you the best all over the world, and you can have an informed decision. Now, we have been told that the outgoing Secretary General of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, Muhammad Sanusi Bakindo, has died. The Managing Director of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, Meliki Kyari, said Bakindo died about 11 p.m. on Tuesday, as after meeting President Muhammadu Buhari. May his soul rest in peace. We'll just leave that as that. In Shiroro, over the weekend, Shiroro is a place in Niger State. We were told that some soldiers were rounded up and they were killed. They were killed by some unknown gunmen. Let me just put it. But let me just give it to the man who knows a lot about the Shiroro area, the Ambassador Nat. You know a lot about Shiroro. Tell us what happened there.
Well, Shiroro, the name goes with the Shiroro hydroelectric dam, a very large dam in Shiroro local government, Niger State, Niger East Senatorial District. Niger State is in the north. It's in the north central geopolitical zone. And Niger State, and places like Shiroro, Moyen, and Rafi local government share boundaries with southern Kaduna. They have a long boundary stretching from Kagara up to Kateri. It's a very large area, and the bandits just pop in and pop out, pop into Niger State, destroy whatever they want to, and then quickly in some minutes they are in Kaduna State. And this has been on for quite some time now, more than 1 year, more than 2 years. And it seems the federal government has really not developed a strategy to protect people in that particular local government area, especially Shiroro. There are mining activities in Shiroro local government, and there's a lot of gold deposit and other minerals, special minerals in that area. And on this fateful last weekend, these bandits, terrorists, invaded the mining site and killed a number of soldiers, abducted some Chinese who are around there doing some mining, and it was a dark day, a very dark Wednesday, very sad, very catastrophic, and so and that place is just some few kilometers to Minna, the state capital. Maybe
Now,
we are.
what does that tell us of the Nigerian security apparatus? Is it that the Nigerian security apparatus is not only failing but incapable of holding its own?
Yeah, the all those words you used are accepted, but what we are looking at now is the security architecture has collapsed. The federal government, who should have a monopoly over violence or use of arms, no longer enjoy that monopoly. The official, the government security system has collapsed, it has failed, and so the non-state actors have taken over the use of arms and ammunitions, and we're no longer, no place is safe.
And Garba Shehu, the presidential spokesman, he said something. What did he say? Though it made little or no sense, but what was his position?
Well, Garba commented on 2 or 3 aspects of the insecurity. We're aware that the advance team of the president, the advance team was attacked by terrorists around Dusema. Dusema is in Katsina State. The president is preparing to go for Salah in Daura, and the practice is that you will send advance team first and foremost to do reconnaissance and to survey the place. Even 2 weeks or sometimes 1 month, Katsina State will have been combed to see who is hiding where, who is planning one thing. But well, I don't know whether that happened. But when yesterday evening there was this attack, we lost the assistant commissioner of police, one assistant commissioner of police of Dia, Umar Dia, who was heading the president advance team. He was killed, and Garba is saying that few people were killed and two injured. So when Garba is talking of few people, I don't know what number he has in mind, but definitely few is not 1, is not 2, is not 3, is not 4. We're talking of maybe 10 or thereabout. The same thing Kuje prison. The same thing.
No, let's leave Kuje for now.
Okay.
Dr. Osita, you lived in Zaria, sorry, in Niger State, in Niger State. You have lived there, so you know the terrain. Can you add more light to that?
Yes. Well, I'm a Nigerite, by association. Having lived there for 6 years, I kind of, the kids who are doing this, Sani Koki, for instance, was one of the politicians that would train in a local NGO program, and he's a very honest person. As a matter of fact, he is saying that he's scared that this is going to happen again. And you know why? Because to him, the governor of the state does not live in the state. Lolo, that's Bello, does not live in Mina, does not live in Niger. He administers Niger State from Abuja, from Niger State House.
Like many of those governors. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the chief of security for the state does not live in the state. The military, who are supposed to do what they're supposed to do, I can see what Ambassador Napi was saying. They get money to purchase arms and sell to the bad boys. This is the repercussion. They get federal vote to purchase arms for defense, and they sell these arms to the bad boys. So when you are talking about safety, what happened in Shiroro? There was a distress call. It was planned, because the intel there says that the ambush came in exactly when they arrived. That was why they were able to kill as much as 48, 50 people. That was a massacre. And this massacre is in their 30s. They're about 40 military and police personnel. It's very sad.
Let me ask you, should the president still be sitting on that seat in Abuja with all of this happening? In a sane society.
They claim that he said that it's an assault on the nation. That it is this. There's always an assault on the nation. What is happening to him himself in Daura, in Katsina State, they're all assault on the nation. Where is Dusima? Dusima is a small town that has only one federal college of education. And they were able to stay in Dusima and nobody knew about it. And Mr. was right. There's nowhere in Katsina where they cannot combat criminals. I lived there. I was in college there for 3 years. I mean, what are they saying to us? We are drowning. We are drowning. Please don't talk about Niger State. Talk about Abuja. They are in homes in Abuja now, operating. They are there, next door to the president, next door to Aso Rock.
Somebody said, please correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody said all of these are orchestrated towards 2023. That the way things are, they are allowing all this chaos to happen, and that
It's a theory.
if elections should hold, that would be a miracle.
It's a theory because it's happening already. It's a theory and people are believing it. But the truth too is
Wow.
that we have to stand strong to not let it happen.
Dr. Ibe, many things are happening in Nigeria, especially this Shiroro and Kuje prison. Kuje prison, we understand, was attacked on Tuesday night, and the 1365 inmates were released. 111 of them Boko Haram, and some people are even denying it, but it's very obvious. Uh, what else do we know, Dr. Ibe?
You know, I try to filter information
Mhm.
I I see every day, but when I saw that 34, to be quite precise, 34 soldiers reportedly killed, I asked
Mm,
myself, was it a bomb that was thrown there, or is it people with guns, rifles? So are they superior to the forces in firepower? Are you kidding me? That they were able to kill 34 soldiers, not mopo as we call them, or local policemen, but
mm,
soldiers. And then you also hear things like unknown gunmen. Where in the world do you hear this word? You know, it's a terminology that I heard from Nigeria for the first time. Unknown gunmen, and I heard Ambassador Nat spoke very well, talking about reconnaissance. I was trying to join in reconnaissance. Our country can perform reconnaissance, and we have unknown gunmen. It's I don't know about I can't speak so highly about our capabilities, but it's really really sad. We spoke the other in the last stream about Giant of Africa. I
mm.
don't know how many more ticks needs to be, or check boxes need to be crossed out for we to really accept that a lot of work needs to be done before we ever repeat the term Giant of Africa. A lot needs to be
Yeah,
done.
yeah, I know we have a challenge in that area. When I read some Pan-Africanists put Nigeria in the in the permanent security seats in United Nations, I just smile and say some people don't understand what qualifies you to be in the permanent seat. They just want a geographical Nigeria to be
Mhm.
in a permanent security status in this Security Council of the UN. And so it appears that this position is going to stay with us. And let Dr. Ebe, before I go on to Mark in Milan, do you think election can hold in such an unstable security framework we have in Nigeria right now?
I don't want to be pessimistic. I do not want to kill the hopes of millions of aspiring people. But
Mm,
for the first time, we have seen that some campaigns, and I don't want to call the name because I don't want to seem like I'm supporting one person over the other, but we
yeah.
can see that there are some campaigns that are already like movements. And we can
Mm,
understand that different between a campaign and a movement is that a campaign is sponsored by the people. People come out on air without not being paid. They promote their
mm,
candidate without any short-term economic benefit. You can see some of the campaigns are already like movements, real movements from people that even Western publications, Eastern publications have recognized and rightly called it a movement. So we can't kill their hopes. Let's get our PVC. Let's see what can be done. I won't say anything negative about that. Let's do our best the result. Aluta continua, Victoria accept.
Asata, Mark Milan, while I like to share the optimism of Dr. Ibe, I would want to say that Nigeria has conducted an election once, got a national leader in MK Abiola, and nullified it right in the presence of Nigerians, and nothing happened. People contested it, people demonstrated, but Babangida got away with it. There's nothing that says Buhari, with his impunity way of ruling, cannot get away with this one, especially when the scenario has been set. What do you say, Ma?
Yes, Doc, thank you very much. Impressive insights everybody's giving here. And we have quite some number of people also following, and I think they are also being updated on occurrences in Nigeria. Yes, we come from a very interesting country where the government have studied the people, the populace, the masses, and they know that they can intimidate them, manipulate them, and nothing happens. Yes, they've worked on our people. Our people are vulnerable to intimidation. Our people, they've seen the vulnerability in Nigerian. The average Nigerian can be trampled upon, and you get away with it. So
Or
it
they
happened.
use the carrot and stick system. Give them carrot
Yes,
here, beat them there, and they are in shape.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what really what's happening. Uh, Anything can happen. It plays out even before, prior to elections. We see situations where they will just enact a law and get away with it, and nobody says anything. Now, they've studied that Nigerians can make their viral shout and their social media um, talk for 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks of complaining, 2 weeks of groaning and everything, it phases out, and they come back again to touch on the people's life and the people's security. So anything can happen. We are in a time when anything can happen. But like Dr. Ibe said, there's something interesting going on now, and that is that the Peter Obi awareness is not really a
Movement,
campaign,
yeah.
like a movement. And it's creating a movement where people are getting their PVC, people are becoming aware of political issues, and we want this because for too long, people were not looking into this aspect of governance. So now they are interested. Everybody wants to know what is happening. Everybody wants to follow up what is happening too.
Thank you very much. Ambassador Nat, you think the impunity of Buhari's administration can get away with anything? He will just say it's not going to happen and it's not going to happen. There will be no election, or given the security situation of Nigeria, we cannot go further, or we will not approve these results. It has happened in Nigeria before. Nigeria didn't break. So, do you think they can get away with such impunity this time around?
Which impunity in particular do you have in mind?
The election being annulled in 2023, that there will be no election.
I've kept saying that if we want to tell each other the truth face to face, we've never had any election in Nigeria. What the INEC does and with the politicians do is to allocate votes to political parties and candidates, and then you see, because you'll be surprised even with this electronic transfer of results. What happened in Ekiti? She tell us that we're just wasting our time talking of electronic transfer of results, right from the polling booths to the ward level, local government level, state level, and the federal. But again, we've had insecurity situation in the northeast, in particular, for the past 12 or 13 years. But they all participate in elections, and they always have the largest number of voters turn out in war zones. What happens is on elections day or 2 days election, they bring their voters to the local government headquarters or to the IDP camps. Everybody is supposed to come there and vote. And when they vote and the result is announced and nobody challenges them. But you will notice that some of the National Assembly members have not gone to their villages in the past 10 years.
Yes, like we are told, they rule from Abuja. People like Matawale, governors Zamfara, people. There are many of them from Abuja.
But because they are there in the National Assembly, Abuja has become their constituency, even though they are not indigenous of FCT, or they are not people residing there like Dr. Sita. But
let me ask Dr. Sita. Dr. Sita, The Peter Obi movement is creating some awareness among the youths. It's like an extension of NSAS. Go and get your PVC. Do you think they are really, really affecting the psyche of the old Trojans like Atiku and Tinubu? Are they really shaking them to the core? In my own opinion, they seem to be wide but not deep. They don't have wards. They don't have local governments. We're not hearing of local government chairman contestants. We are not hearing of state assembly, local government contestants. I mean, state assembly contestants. We are not having such deep people who will be the grassroots. Yes, millions are going to get their PVC, probably going to vote for Peter Obi, but they may collapse their structure for APC last minute if they see good money, like it happened in Ekiti State, where the Labour Party leader in Ekiti State collapsed the structure for. Do you think this Peter Obi movement is deep in structure, Dr. Sita?
Yes, I don't think I know. I know because I have traveled to see them. That's how interested
Mm,
I am. People said exactly what you're saying now. People with very little faith. And Dr.
mm,
Johnson, you are still exercising your little faith. You don't have,
mm,
you don't believe that they can be deep enough, to win the election, but they will surprise you. Let me tell you why. They've started
mm,
beating up P2B supporters. They send them to hospital, broken bones, blinded eye. They are beating them up
mm,
now. You know why? Because they
mm,
know that it is real. There's a young man
mm,
in a band. He's in hospital now. They have raised 1.6 million naira for him. They caught
mm,
him talking about P2B. As a matter of fact, talking about the structure that they are building themselves. That was what irked
mm,
them. The angst was that the Yoruba man can come openly and talk about the structure that they're building in local government areas in Oyo State. So they went
mm.
after him, took him down, but he's up and good. He's taking photographs, taking selfies with his POP and everything, and they are donating money for him to come out and continue his
I've
campaign.
I've been a political analyst for the better part of my year, two-thirds of the years I've lived. I have always known that you need the widespread and the depth. When you don't have the
I
depth,
know, I know.
you'll be
Just give it to me. The P2B movement. The only thing you're telling me now is that the P2B movement is short because at the time he left PDP, he had very little time. But people are working hard
mm,
for it. It shows faith. It shows that we are tired of yesterday, that we want a different
mm.
tomorrow. Listen, even if it
Okay,
does
let me
not
see.
win now,
Mm.
even if it does not win now, there is something about it that is hope for Africa. And
Okay,
I'm
I
behind
agree
that
with
hope.
you. Dr. Ibe, you think the Peter Obi movement is as deep that can win presidential election, even though Labour Party appears to have disappeared from the scene, which is worrying to some of us.
We can shoot for the stars. I encourage all young, old, experienced, inexperienced, get your PVCs and vote. Do not be discouraged by whatever you see around, both by our history or even what you see around today. Get your PVC and vote because that is the only power you have, not hashtags, not trends, not social media comments. So let's go out and exercise our vote, and whatever comes out of it, we would analyze the results and see what we can do.
Well, the essence of political scientists is to be able to have quality predictability. On this occasion, we will leave it until next week when we will be able to give you more position on what is going on in global politics. It's my duty to thank Mark Milan for a wonderful work being done there and the crew in Milan showing us to the rest of the world. Great to have Ambassador Nat Yakwo, Dr. Godwin Ibe, all the way from Moscow, Russia. I'm hoping to visit next year. And last but
Sure.
not the least, Dr. Osita and Emeka, giving all the latest facts, figures, and analysis. I'm sure next Wednesday we'll have more news and echoes of news for you. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And until next week, God bless you all.